Welcome to the perfectly placed preview for the Whirlpool Gold Cup Day. It's going to be an exciting race meeting. I think we're all looking forward to the 4 grade 1s, but it doesn't quite stop there. It sort of keeps going grade 2s, grade 3s, and just a brilliant way, I think, to round off the season. A lot really counts for this, especially when we're leading into things like Equus Awards. And this is almost the last occasion or opportunity for horses just to increase their chances. So thank you very much for joining us. We can't wait to guide you through. And with me today, I have Alistair Cohen. Alistair, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks, Vix. I think this is one of probably the great race day as far as the spread of 10 races is concerned. Yeah, nothing can compete with the Hollywoodbets Greyville. For me, I love the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met Race Day. I love Champions Day up at Turf and Team, but this really is it. It's feature races from wall to wall with whirlpools being involved. And as you mentioned, Equus Awards up for grabs. Some categories are well and truly done, I think, but some will be hotly debated coming out of this race meeting. It's a great day out.
It really is. And I think also racing purists thoroughly enjoy it.
Absolutely, yeah. As far as the true blue race day of the season is concerned, this is it.
MJ, got MJ Byleveld with us too. MJ, welcome.
Thanks, Vicky. Yeah, very good to be here again. And as you guys have mentioned, a fantastic race card. We were spoiled on Hollywoodbets July Day with some fantastic racing. But this day also some interesting 2-year-old races. And obviously for me, the big race of the day, the Hong Kong Jockey Club Champions Cup. Two big guns are taking each other on with 6 others. So very interesting. And yeah, we've got a bit of work to do.
We do indeed. And the Mercury Sprint, also an exciting race. Is something you're familiar with, MJ?
Yeah, very open race. Been lucky enough to win the race, but at Leewood. So yeah, it's a very open race. Tough one. Even the Gold Cup, although it looks like King Pele's could be a horse that stands out, but Gold Cup's a Gold Cup. It's a long season, long way to go. So it'll be interesting to hear what Alistair and yourselves have come to and decided on.
Did you win the last Mercury Sprint at Clearwood?
No, I don't think it was
All a secret.
All a secret.
Yeah, beat Order Winter.
You killed us that day.
Marsh Shirtliff and Bryn Russell are still talking about it.
Alistair hasn't let it go clearly either. No, brilliant. We've given you some morsels and ways to start it. There's also, Alistair, a pick 6 carryover and as well as a quartet for race 4.
Yeah, so the pick 6 target is going to be 10 million rand on Gold Cup Day. So get involved in that. Looking forward to trying to wade our way through it. I think a lot of punters might go narrow and certainly half the legs of the pick 6. And yeah, that quartet carryover to the Gold Cup, likely pool of 2 million rand. We don't have a maximum field in the Gold Cup, so maybe quite a few punters will fancy their chances of catching that. Can we get an upset? I don't know.
We also have the Punters Challenge to look forward to. MJ,
Yeah,
are you excited?
very excited. It starts off very tricky. Then we get the 2-year-old races at Greyville. It's not always easy, but some exciting 2-year-olds. Alan Greef has pulled another bow out. So yeah, it's very excited about the race day.
Right, we are indeed. Well, let's jump into it. So race 1 is the Michelle Narek Appreciation Stakes. It's over the 1,600 meters, a listed event. And this is just the start of when it starts getting exciting. But the betting will hopefully be a guide. Alistair, take us through the betting.
Yep, the old Dali Arabian. Nice to have Michelle Narek on the card. So the favourite is number 1, I Salute You, 33-10. Number 7, Bus Stop and Hounslow, 4-1. 2 Winter Games at 9-2. 11-2 about number 3, Guy Gibson. 10-1, number 8, Teflon Man. And then bigger prices about the others.
So is that a guide? Are you pretty spot on with the market, Alistair, in your opinion?
I don't disagree with the market, Vicky, but I do agree with MJ that this is the hardest race on the card. Probably this and the Mercury Sprint, the 2 hardest races on the card. There's Form to Zeitz, which I think bears a lot of watching. Winter Games in that Tequila ran, let's call it a quarter of a length behind I Salute You. They do meet on identical terms, but with that said, Winter Games, I think with the draw swing, having had a bad draw on Hollywoodbets July Day, now has a good draw. Stable jockey Tristan Godden takes a ride. 3rd run after a break. I think he'll turn that form around with number 1, I Salute You. And then MJ can go into depth with the Joburg form that Bus Stop and Hounslow brings. And I think Bus Stop and Hounslow is close to Hollywood's best horse, or most exciting horse going into next season. Really like the look of the son of New Predator, and if it's not Pierre Stradham's last day, he claims that if he wins on Royal Victory, that'll be his last ride. If he doesn't, he'll ride at the Vol on the 31st. But it's going to be farewell to Striker in Durban, and I think he's got a good chance of going out with a bang with Bus Stop and Hounslow. That's a definite winning chance.
There you go. MJ, your opinion of the race?
Yeah, I agree with Alistair. Bus Stop on Hounslow has got a very good chance. Obviously, Guy Gibson meets him on better terms. With a couple of kilos turnaround, Alistair says Pierre will make the 3 kilos difference. So he's got some solid form. Initially thought I salute you, obviously, on his Zart's form line is very strong, but you got to respect that Winter Games was drawn badly last time. He now is a complete switch around and draws. It makes him a lot closer to Winter Games. Mentioned Guy Gibson, he comes into it because of the weight turnaround. And then the horse, Mlenze Yokoduduma, is the highest rated horse in the race. If he ignores his last start, if he comes back to his solid old form, yes, he's got the weight, but he could be a little bit of a dark horse in the race. When he's right, he can run this horse. I've got a bit of respect for Mlenze Yokoduduma. So this race, I think, a big quartet type of race, just because it's so open. Also spoken about Bust Up and Hounslow, Guy Gibson, Winter Games, number one. I salute you. And then obviously you got to throw in Mlenze Yokoduduma. I think you should be okay with those horses.
Would it be fair to also include number 13, Arena Trogan? Again, another wide draw to overcome.
Yeah, the draws against him. He needs sort of, I think, everything in his favour. He needs a certain ride. He can get a bit keen. If he gets luck and running, yes, he can be competitive.
MJ, you're playing this race?
I went initially for the swingers 1 and 3. But I'd go the quartet, as I said. Probably a good 1, 2, 3. 7 thrown Mlenze Yokoduduma, and then for the wider ones, Arena Trogan.
There you go. That's the play for race 1. Moving on to race 2. It is the Whirlpool with Race Coast Debutant. It's a grade 2 event over the 1200 meters and a very competitive race. I think that throughout the day, you also have horses that are improving. They are 2-year-olds, and a lot of them have been so impressive. But against each other, how impressive are they going to be? That is the huge question. Alistair, take us through the betting.
We were discussing this race in the office, and I'll give you our heads up in just a moment. Number 1, Princess of Gaul, 16-10 favourite. 6, Elegantrix, 28-10. 3, Mystical Miss. Great to have Keegan DeMello on board. Just a little heads up as well, with Whirlpool being part of the day. Expect Keegan DeMello's horses on the tote to go very, very close to tote favourite if they're not tote favourite. So I'm looking at Hollywood's betting. Mystical Miss is 6-1. I reckon on the tote, just because DeMello's riding, probably be paying about R2.50, R3, somewhere around there. And Kirkenhoff, number 8 on the card, 6-1, 10-1, and upwards the others.
MJ, a very interesting race just because you've got likely race horses that have won on debut. You don't quite know what's to come still. Was it sort of just a real peak first time out, or can they follow through?
Yeah, it's not about the track or anything. It is Greyville does make it sometimes tricky. We saw in Hollywoodbets in July, the 2-year-old races, there was quite a bit of interference. Also, green, the turn comes into play. Draws make a big difference. Get to the field, Princess of Gold, she won very well first time. I did not beat much. The draw is obviously quite crucial. Elegantrix, she's back into 1200. I think probably suit her a little bit better. She's got fantastic form, as we know, to direct hit. I feel like Kirkenhoff, I think she probably would be a little bit better over a little bit more ground, but she does finish it off quite well. And once again, Ellen Greef, Sylvan City, she's had quite a few runs, but 10 lengths to Golden Palm, then 4 lengths to Direct Hit. In this type of race, she's drawn badly, but it's not one to leave out the play. But an open race, it's 2-year-olds, very tricky.
It is quite tricky. Alistair, what would the player, or how would you guide us through, or the public through this race?
Let's be honest, I don't like Silver City, but if she were to win, Golden Palm's price will halve again, and it will make Greef look like even more of a genius with Direct Hit, Another Dance for Me, and Golden Palm in her form lines. I think that this is the start of a good stretch for Dean Canamay. I think he's got some big runners coming up. What I saw from Princess of Gaul on debut at Hollywoodbets Scottsville was out of the top drawers there that day. She looked the part. Again, like MJ said, I don't know what she beat. I don't think she beat much, but the way that she won was emphatic.
They're 9.5 lengths. I mean, she's basically in her own race.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think from an inside draw, there's everything going for number 1, Princess of Gaul. I think the overriding feeling is that a lot of these horses have ducked Golden Palm in the grade 1. This is a very strong version of the debutant. So Princess of Gaul, my top choice, but there are a few others. Elegantrix, she was one of the unlucky horses in the Amoda Golden Horseshoe last time. I don't believe that she even reached 1400 meters, but still, she was unlucky. She should have finished closer than the 7.5 lengths. I think back to a sprint, she'll be very effective and she'll run a lot better. If she doesn't win, she'll go close. Mystical Miss is interesting for me. She beat Versace on the track with ease. Versace on the track has won twice subsequently, and all her form lines have sparked out well. I'm surprised that Mystical Miss has taken a long time to come back, so just bear that in mind. But Terry loves this day, so watch out for number 3, Mystical Miss. And I'm willing to give number 4, Hierarchy, another chance. Hesitate to say that she's got a winning chance, but she'll run a lot better than what she did in the grade 1 last time at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. So I think she's got a nice place chance. But all in all, suggested bet boxed exacts is 1 and 6.
Race 3, it is follow at Whirlpool on X Stakes Grade 2 event over the 1200 meters. And this is the chance for the boys with some girls to show who is best. And again, it's nice to use the betting as a guide and see the support, but we have a similar situation where you get horses with pace, horses who could show the improvement, and horses with experience, which, as MJ touched on, a few horses have been green around the Hollywoodbets Greyville turn, and as such, does affect them a little bit in running. So, Alistair, what is the betting?
So, courtesy of Hollywoodbets, number 5, Aristocratic, Canamea and Zaki again, 18-10 favourite. 1, Rachel Wall, and 4, Zalatoris are both 4-1. Number 2, Titan of the Turf at 11-2, and 8, Shadowfax at 6-1 shot. Double figures. Write your own ticket, literally, about the others.
Just your opinion of the race or some of the runners, Alistair?
So I think the best way to work out this race, Vicky, is probably pile them up A grade, B grade, C grade as far as this race is concerned. Aristocratic's top of the A grade list. Again, Zaki and Canamea. His run in the grade 1, he was left with a lot to do. He was also unlucky. May have finished closer to Chronicle King. It's so hard going from winning your maiden and going onto a stage like that. I've seen it time and time again. Top horses can't do it, but they do come on with a run under the belts. They learn a lot. They sort of get hair on their chest after those runs. And I think number 5, Aristocratic, is going to take a lot of beating. I know that his maiden win was impressive and the form line hasn't worked out. Holy Star still languishing in the maidens. But I think Aristocratic's got a lot going for him. With that said, I think there are a few nice horses to keep an eye on. Don't know what to make of Rachel Walsh, who was horribly disappointing second up behind Princess Kira, who won at cricket score odds. Titan of the Turf beat little on debut, but he beat them well, so he could be anything. But again, straight out the maidens, it's a hard ask, but he ought to run a nice race. Zalatoris keeps me very interesting here, Vix. This horse has got an action from here to China. Lovely horse. Well beaten by Golden Warrior last time, but Golden Warrior is a very smart horse trained by Alson and Solana. I'd like to see him going that 1,400 and 1,600 meters again soon, because I think he's got the game to be very effective, especially being out of a Silvano mare. Half-brother Presley, trained by Johan Janssen van Vuuren's very effective in that middle distance range. So I think Zalatoris will go fairly close. And Shadowfax is going to give us a big clue as how Jan van Gooyen goes in the grade 1. A little bit of talk about Jan van Gooyen. Shadowfax may have been left a little bit too far back last time, made up some ground. Again, I think he'll be a very nice horse in 6 months' time. I'd led to believe that Sean Terry's got a few options open as far as this 3-year-old campaign. Is he going to do Cape Town? Is he going to stick to Joburg? Is he going to play the long game with Durban this time next year with number 8 Shadowfax? But I think that he excites all the connections, so he could be very interesting in this race. But Aristocratic, the horse to beat.
Alistair, number 11, Dante's Bond, what is he paying a place?
Dante's Bond is at the bottom of the board, 8-1 a place.
Jeez.
There you go.
Very well bred.
He is very well bred on speed, Joe's Bond, but Alistair's obviously gone into a lot of detail. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Horses that are coming back in trip, do you think it's going to catch them a little bit flat-footed with the horses with real speed?
It can, Vicky. One thing it is obviously that extra run does count quite a bit, although it might have been over a bit more ground. It can catch them out, but Greyville, you could probably, those young horses, so they could get away with it. At this stage of their career, they should get away with dropping 200 meters. It's not like they're dropping from a mile to, well, there's one horse, obviously, Zalatoris is, but the horse that I quite like is Shadowfax and Aristocratic. Those 2 horses are the horses that jumped out at me in this race. Yes, they are coming back into the trip. I don't think the 200 meters would be a big factor. Do have a bit of respect for the filly. You always have to take the 2.5 kilos in consideration. Yes, those form lines aren't very strong. Out of the Tony Peter horses, I thought Sylvan Warrior is the one with probably the stronger form, but I prefer 5 and 8, and that will be box exacta would be my bet.
Just want to jump in before we wrap up this race. Constellation's form at Turffontein on Thursday last week were 4 winners from Constellation's form lines. Not all from the same race, but 4 winners on the same day out of one horse's form line. Crazy stat. Yeah. And then one other horse I didn't mention that I want to throw into the court is number 6 Mighty Zambezi, a lovely son of Waterwood. Don't know if he's quite ready yet to win a grade 2. Chuck him into your quartets.
And Wendy Whitehead's yard really ticks over very well. She gets great results consistently.
Punches above her weight. She's a magnificent trainer.
Yeah. That's it. Race 4, it is the Douglas White Stakes, the grade 1 over the 1,600 meters, and a lovely competitive contest. But all eyes will be on Golden Palm, and more than likely, that's exactly where the market's going to point to. Alistair?
I think, we'll get to it in a moment. But number 1, Golden Palm, I don't know what price she opened, but she's 9-20.
Sure.
9 to 20, number 1 Golden Palm. 3 One Fun Winter, 5 to 2, and the others aren't wanted.
I think Alan's going to be cursing us. I think he's probably box walking at this stage. MJ got it in his ear the other day. We can't talk about him on air.
He's never been one for the limelight, but deserves it, Alan. So you can shout as much as he wants to.
Correct.
Golden Palm, there's no questions about how good she is. Will she get the mile? Well, this probably be the easiest mile that she will find. Draw 1, everything in her favor, and yeah, she looks rather special. So we're holding thumbs for her to arrive. The rest of the field, we're probably going to be looking at what's going to run second. Is probably what we need to talk about. Talk about Wendy Whitehead's form. Limitless Sky, yes, she's drawn badly, but she ran a fair race in the last start to another dance for me, and you got to respect that. The rest of them, I think One Fine Winter's run 2 Golden Palm, you got to respect that. And then Mr. Terry's other filly, Alta Capitana, she's got to have a chance draw 2.
Yeah, absolutely, quite competitive. MJ, I was going to ask you about, obviously, Alan Creer travelling Golden Palm up from Port Elizabeth up to Durban. This has obviously been a successful recipe once before, but obviously no concerns.
No, looks like he's got it waxed. I don't know if he'll be taking the Zimbabwean nursery on soon. He wants to go everywhere, but no, he's got it pretty waxed, and he's done a great job. Nowadays with the floats that go, they get on the float and go there and come back. So holding thumbs that everyone gets there in one piece, and it normally happens. And all trainers have got their routine and they know how they do it. And well, Alan would know when they would arrive, probably Friday sort of thing, and get there. And no, the travelling shouldn't be a problem at all.
Alistair, how do we navigate this race?
I think these are calm waters. To be honest, I'll be surprised if Golden Palm doesn't win. She's already conquered Joburg, won the Volkerbos Drift Fillies Nursery when beating One Fun Winter. I think One Fun Winter is going to be stretched over a mile. I think she's a high quality filly, One Fun Winter. But I think she's going to be particularly high quality in a sprint, not so much over a mile. I think the others here are, something's going to get a little bit of small black tap for running third, but I'll be shocked if Golden Palm doesn't win. She's a banker in the Pick 6, which I've tipped. It's banker 1 by 1, 3, 4, 7, and 10 by field. I'm looking for results on the Mercury. By 1, 4, and 11 by banker 4. By 3, 6, 7, 9, 10, and 11. So it's a slim Pick 6 by my standards on a day like this, with a massive carrot dangling as far as the Pick 6 is concerned. If Golden Palm does get beaten, it'll become a very long Sunday for me.
And a reminder that this is the Pick 6 carryover of $1 million. Likely pool is 10 million. And while you mentioned One Fine Winter, number 3, Alistair and Drakensberg having a superb season. Unbelievable with their stake success.
One more winner to break their own record.
They are
Brilliant.
astonishing breeders, astonishing owners. Yes, they got the blood, but it's one thing to have that in your locker. It's another thing to perform with it, and they're doing it season and season again, and it's improving every season, which is quite frightening. So, yeah, I hope that they put it off, break their own record. Will One Fun Winter topple Golden Palm, though? I do highly doubt it. Somebody's going to run third. Who's going to be next best? I mean, I can tell you that Candice is hoping a bit of class can run into the top 4, but under no illusions that number 1's hard to beat. Maybe number 14, a Lovelace, could be best of the rest, but it really becomes a wild coin toss past 1 and then 3.
Race 5, it is Whirlpool Moment of the Day Champion Stakes, the Grade 1 event over the 1600 meters. And an interesting race for me. I think that there's a huge amount of dynamics, and I'll leave MJ to Jan van Gooyen. But there's also Tin Pan Alley, you've got Malmesbury Missile, and it doesn't quite stop there, Alistair. So what does the market say?
Definitely doesn't stop there. So joint favourites 22 to 10. Ton of money on number 7, Tin Pan Alley. So that's joint favourite from an opening call of 9 to 2. Number 10, Malmesbury Missile, also 22 to 10. 4, Chronicle King, 7 to 1, 3, Jan van Gooyen. So 8 to 1, 10 to 1, number 1, Soldier Boy, and 12 to 1, and upwards the others.
This for me is an interesting race, because on Hollywoodbets Durban July Day, the race was quite rough from that point of view. So you had horses that were maybe a little bit more unbalanced, as MJ touched on. If I'm not mistaken, it was also the lighting was changing. So it's not only the atmosphere, correct. It's the atmosphere both in the parade ring. I mean, you can't help but feel the energy on the course. So interesting race for me, just to see how horses have now adjusted to that, had the benefit of being on that big stage.
It makes a big difference, Vicky.
Yeah,
big difference.
So what is your, MJ, take us through your opinion of the...
Yeah, we can talk about, Tin Pan Alley was all over the place. You watched the replay and he didn't look like, he ran like a horse that, yes, there was a bit of interference, but he reacted to things, and it's almost like it was his first start. And he still ran where he did. A lovely horse. You got to respect the money that's come from him. I really enjoyed Dawson's horse that went to the start, Chronicle King. Wow, what an action horse. When he went down, I was like, ooh, that's a lovely horse, that. And not surprised that he came back and won. We respect him. It's a pity he's had 4 or 5 different jocks on him now. Maybe Alistair can Muzi suspended. Would be nice to just have one guy on. But yeah, he's a lovely horse. I thought Soldier Boy ran from a bad draw last time, finished off really well. Now draw 1, you got to respect that. Malmesbury Missile ran a fantastic race last time. Had every chance. He probably had the smoothest race, and he ran a brilliant race. For me, I think those horses you should be okay. Soldier Boy, Chronicle King, Tin Pan Alley, Malmesbury Missile. Jan van Gooien is an interesting horse. His form line is quite strong to shadow facts. Those form lines are quite strong. As a horse that could be the one that could upset the apple cart. He looks like also quite a nice horse, so I wouldn't leave him out of any bet.
Did you ride the mother, Daydream Believer?
No.
Just checking.
Maybe you were daydreaming. No, definitely not.
Alistair, number 8, Charming Cheetah. The son of New Predator for me comes into the race. And I'll tell you why. Terrible draw last time. Obviously at the back of the field, there were horses changing positions in front of him throughout the race, and ran on. Probably at that stage had maybe too much against him or up against him. But ahead of, if you look at his form earlier on, good enough to feature here, do you think?
Placed in a grade 1, desperately unlucky at Hollywoodbets Greyville. That was probably his race for the taking this winter. Will he get a mile though? I know he was desperately unlucky. There's no way that you can judge him on that last start.
Out of a jackpot mare?
Well, the families all produced sprinters. There was one trained by Alec Laird, whose name escapes you. Won the first 3 the moment they sent it over a trip. That was it. But anyway, put it like this: I'd be more prepared to judge Charming Cheetah on the run at Hollywoodbets Greyville than the Charming Cheetah from Hollywoodbets Durban Gelade. But with that said, I still have a question mark about him over the trip. But look, he would definitely go into my wider play. He's not one of those that is in the can't win category. Let's start with Candice's horse, number 4, Chronicle King. I hear everyone's argument that it was a messy race. There's no doubt about that.
But he was also affected by
100%. That's exactly the point I was going to make. He showed the tenacity to overcome that and still charge away from Malmesbury Missile. The unluckiest horse in the race was Tin Pan Alley, but Chronicle King was in that gap. Tin Pan Alley was hunting for a gap that Chronicle King's head was in. I mean, Muzi's not going to give Samanga that gap, no way. But with a clearer passage this time around, I can see Tin Pan Alley closing the deficit. I was at work, can you believe it? I went to track on Saturday morning at Randkiesfontein, and I watched Chronicle King work. Culvin was there, and how's this for a statistic? Culvin's won the last 2 runnings of this race. VJ's Angel last year, and a year earlier won on Sandringham Summit from a distant draw. And Culvin, so he's going for 3 in a row, and he really loved the feel that Chronicle King gave him. Why wouldn't you? I mean, he's an excellent horse. Even if he doesn't win here, he's got a very, very bright future ahead of him.
MJ. Now you know what happened to the jockey engagement.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Muzi's Chronicle King.
Muzi suspended. Chronicle King is at a price of, let me just get it right, 7-1, which I think is a big price.
Great.
For a horse that's already beaten 2 above him in the market.
That's the win bet for the value.
I hope so. Obviously, sentimentally, I really hope number 4, Chronicle King, can win. Will it be easy? Tin Pan Alley will run closer. I don't know. Malmesbury Missile, as MJ rightly says, that was the horse that encountered nothing last time. Maybe the slow pace didn't help him. He's a very, very good horse as Malmesbury Missile, but can he stay ahead of Tin Pan Alley, and can he turn it around with Chronicle King, considering he was the horse that had the run of the race? Don't know. So, and then Jan van Gooien could be absolutely anything. Count of Ruin, I think, will run closer to what he did last time. And Soldier Boy was the best finisher in the race, switched off, and he's got a good draw this time around. So he also enters the conversation, but very tricky race. Sentimentally, I'm going with Chronicle King, though. Are you gonna got a big winning chance.
Be able to commentate on Tuesday after screaming this was because you battled the last race meet when you won.
Yeah, the next 2 races.
The voice is only disrecovered.
I was a goner after that. I might be stood down after the race.
MJ, please confirm your suggested play for this race.
My suggested play, I would go a win bet on Chronicle King.
Yeah, bold. Race 6, Mercury Sprint, grade 1 over the 1200 meters. And this is the race everyone's a little bit, I wouldn't say concerned about, but a little bit cautious, because it is an interesting one indeed. Hopefully, Alistair, the market can point us in the right direction. Will it do that?
Well, there's value here as a result, because there's a horse that I know MJ and I are on the same page with, who's not the favorite. 13 Tenango, massive chance favourite, 22 to 10, and supported from 3 to 1. Alder de May, will he get there in time? Because he stood down 2 races earlier. And flights between Cape Town and Durban are at a premium. They're hard to get this weekend.
Correct. Look, more than likely, what will happen is that there will be a plan A, plan B, and plan C. That's normally what Candice does is she has the plan in place. So should that happen, which it possibly can, she will have a plan in place.
Okay, well, Tenango's 22 to 10 favourite and supported from 3 to 1. 9 Buffalo Storm Cody and 4 I Am Giant, 6 to 1, 1 Mia Moo. A grade 1 win already this season, 7 to 1, 6 Questioning, and 8 William Robertson at 8 to 1, and 11 Asia Pambile at 10 to 1.
There you go, MJ, let the cat out the bag. Who's the horse?
I've got previous experience in these races. The fillies always got a good chance, Vicky. I think Mia Moo, the weight they get is a big plus for them.
Draw?
Draw. Asia Pambile, she's a brilliant sprinter. Pity she's drawn where she is. But I think those two, they've got good chances. You got to respect the best weighted in the race, William Robertson. He hasn't been in good form of late, but
Last 2 runs have been below his best.
yeah, but if he comes to his best form, he can be very competitive. You got to respect Tenango. What he's done since his wind up is fantastic.
His win at Hollywoodbets Scottsville was so impressive. He also went on the side of the track where horses weren't really making up ground. And I think the whole crowd was a little bit taken aback watching him finish. Think, wow.
He had room with a turn of foot to that, so it did help him. But respect Buffalo Storm Cody, who also done absolutely nothing wrong. A great run last time. And Questioning, Mr. Marshall always feels that he's not at Group 1 level. But if he gets the run of the race, JP gets a little bit of cover. He's got a very good turn of foot, this horse. His last start was a good run. He came from sort of the clouds and ran a fantastic race.
And a better draw this time. Last time it was a
better.
terrible draw.
Yeah, bad draw, but it's a very, very tricky race. Not an easy one, Ali.
No, this is a very trappy mate.
Another quartet, nice big quartet.
Well, I've got a quartet tipped here. What about last year's winner, Sergio? Not put that in the race.
You can't
drawn in the mud.
You can't try him out. He's run to the best, lucky lad. If he just reproduces those type of form, give me a Prince. He's one of the best in the race.
Would you give a horse who's run second to Give Me a Prince a chance?
Yes.
Definitely.
So Cafe Culture's in the race.
Cafe Culture is 100% in the
And
race.
what a season Lucien has been having too.
And Cafe Culture won the Post Merchants last year, so he can go over this course and distance. And in my heart of hearts, still, I think that this is the greatest Mercury sprint of all time. No, there are 3 Grade 1 winners in this race, which is fantastic. And we've got Mia Moo, William Robertson, and Sergio, unless I'm missing someone, but they're the 3 Grade 1 winners in this race. And I think it opens the door. I mean, MJ's spot on. This race has got a history of fillies popping up. That's why I went field in my pick 6. The 2 horses that I'm most keen on, I like Questioning. I think that he'll run into the top 4. I love what I saw from him in the Post Merchants. Made up a lot of ground behind I Am Giant. Does he have any right to turn that form around? Well, he comes in here, 2 kilos better off. It should close the gap.
I also think better drawn and having the run under the belt.
Yeah, I think that's gonna have there's gonna be a big factor in number 6 Questioning going close in the race. And I think number 13 Tenango, what I saw last time at Hollywoodbets Greyville, was out of the top draw. He won far easy in the margin, suggested. Andrew Fortune was waving at the crowd 100 meters out.
He's done that a lot this season.
He'll be ridden for luck though. That's the problem I have. And if he gets
13, lucky for some, lucky for
no problem with number 13. But I just hope he doesn't get stuck behind the wrong horse, number 13 Tenango.
He is quite nifty out the pens, though, to be honest. But like you say, it's all about whether he's managed to be placed correctly to then get going early enough. Because you need to get that. The timing in the straight at Hollywoodbets Greyville is everything.
I think he's the most progressive sprinter in the country, number 13 Tenango. But I am worried about him around the turn in Hollywoodbets Greyville. But I think he'll run the first 4. So my play, quartet double float 6 and 13 by the field. This race has big priced horse running into the top 4 written all over it.
make it fast.
Yeah.
Race 7, it's the Whirlpool Gold Cup Grade 3 over the 3,200 meters. So a lovely staying trip. And we've seen a horse who's progressed beautifully. It's unbelievable, really. But I think his huge asset is undeniably his turn of foot. So King Pele's, for me, how he's come on. The other horse is that you've got Holding Thumbs, who is a big, imposing horse. It's just a horse that has getting better with time. So, Alistair, is that sort of what the market suggests?
Spot on what the market says. So number 4 on the card favourite, 15-10. A little bit of a drift, open 2-1. Went as short as 14-10, but allowed to drift slightly. Number 11, Holding Thumbs, 5-1. Number 2 is the Money Horse. I'm surprised he opened up at 7-1. He's currently trading 11-2. And number 7, Future Swing, 8-1. While number 12, Navajo Nation, is a 10-1 shot. Double figures about the others.
It is a bit interesting. I thought that last time out, Blackberry Malt would run a nice type of race, but had a little bit too much to do. So do you think it is just those 2 horses, Alistair? Do you think you mentioned Madison Valley number 2. Are there other horses that absolutely thrive over the trip?
It's a weird Gold Cup this year, Vicky. In that, look, let's go to basics. Shoot the Rapids ran second in this race last year. He's a year older. I mean, for a 3-year-old, I know 3-year-olds have won the race, Ancestral 4 being the most recent in 2010, but it's a hard ask for a 3-year-old to pop up and run that type of race. So he definitely gets the trip. But does he have any right to beat King Pele's on 5 lengths? It's a lot to turn around. The history of horses going from the July into the Gold Cup isn't all that hot, so that kind of takes me off Madison Valley a little bit. Look, what I saw in the Gold Vase is going to be a very, very hard horse to beat. Wouldn't be the first time that Kamalo and Gareth Van Zyl teamed up to win this race. They won with Paths of Victory a while ago. At any price was Paths of Victory. So I think this would be more in place. But without blowing my own trumpet, the Gold Cup has been a very lucky race for me. And during the Cape Summer, we were all drawn towards number 11, Holding Thumbs, as a potential Gold Cup horse. I know he was well beaten by King Pele's last time out, but he's got the slighter swing of the weights. Plus, I think the added 200 meters is going to stand him in good stead. It's probably also going to stand the Van Zyl horse in good stead as well. But
he didn't have the easiest race, though, did he?
No, he didn't. He had a bad draw. He's got a bad draw again. Hopefully,
Got there pretty easily.
He did get there pretty easily. There was no real pace in the early stages. And I think from the deep draw, everything kind of went according to plan. But I think Holding Thumbs is going to go a lot closer. And for me, he is one of 2 horses who can trouble King Pele. So 1, 4, and 11 were my pick 6 numbers. I've got Shoot the Rapids in simply because he ran second in this race last year. Don't know what to make of number 12, Navajo Nation. Ordinarily, Wayo mowing in a long distance race, I'd be prepared to have a good solid each way bet on a horse trained by Wayo in a long distance race. But I've watched him closely at Turfentine. He moves up through the hands 400 meters out. Looks like he's going to run a massive race in fields that he should not really be in, and he just tapers off. So over 2 miles, I don't think he's quite got it.
You reminded me of a lovely memory with Ancestral 4. Alan Higgins trained him. And Alan Higgins, I'll tell you the story briefly. Alan Higgins always wanted to own a grey son of Dynasty. He was unsold. He bought him at the back, if I'm not mistaken, for like 40,000 or 45,000. And he just developed so well, and he sold him. And that's when he went on to win the Gold Cup. And I said, but why wouldn't you enjoy the horse yourself? And he just said, to watch the horse go on is better than anything I could have done with him.
Brilliant.
So brilliant.
Colnice is running for Mike de Kock that year.
That's right.
Amazing. He had a lovely action. Yeah.
Not the biggest.
No, but he covered ground. MJ, the race for you?
Vicky, I don't know, it's hard for me to look past King Pele's. He dropped in at 300 and won like a... I mean, how can... So, let's go back to weights. There's a Holding Thumbs getting a kilo from him. The way this horse has improved and enjoyed the extra ground, I really can't see any other horse beating him. For me, he's a banker. Just the way he's won, as long as obviously Gareth has got him in a good place. It's not the biggest field, he'll be in a nice position. And he's just progressed so much. It's quite scary to think he was 82 not too long ago, and now he's sitting at 118, but he's won like that. So
Yeah, his progress is unbelievable.
yeah, it's unbelievable. It's one of those horses that with time it's just improved so much, and I really can't the way turnaround with the other horses, that I don't think they're good enough to beat him. Dead honest.
Yeah, now you have it all. Race 8, the Hong Kong Jockey Club Champions Cup, the Grade 1 over the 1800 meters, and it's quite an interesting race indeed. It's just the 8 horses now, so with the scratching of litigation, and I don't know what side of the fence everyone's falling. Who will be crowned is the question. It's the king or the prince? Is it that straightforward, Alistair? Tell us the market. Let's see if that'll help.
We'll discuss it now. The Real Prince is a 2-1 favourite and supported as well. whereas number 4, Dave the King, is 22 to 10 second favourite, and as a result of the support has drifted. Also a nibble about number 2, Gladiatorian, 6 to 1 the latest price, 8 Fire Attack, 7 to 1, 5 See It Again, 7 to 1, and 7 Royal Victory, an 8 to 1 shot.
Gladiatorian has an unbelievable KZN following. MJ, did you pick up on that?
Yeah,
Which we were in KZN. He's almost like the people's horse there.
yeah, but he's been so consistent and he's run great races to the best. So it's expected. If there's going to be 2 horses on the table, then you're from KZN, you're definitely going to go Gladiatorian, and you'll get a bit of value. So I mean, who doesn't like a bit of value with the Durban crowd? Yeah, you got to respect it. Very interesting race for me. Tactics here are going to be a big play. I think the 2 horses that will be really going to enjoy the pace up front is obviously the Real Prince and Gladiatorian, because you've got Montaigne and Dave the King next to each other, and Dave the King is such a proper galloper. You just hope that everything goes his way. Just hope that Montaigne does not come and irritate him early on, because the tactics will, for me, at the end of the day, play a big part here. Dave the King, the Real Prince, they're fantastic horses. Gladiatorian, it's going to be a great race, but I think tactics are going to play a massive part here.
You also have horses who probably tapering off this season have had the mileage through the season, others that are not really. Interesting that the Real Prince and Dave the King are both lightly raced into this.
Yeah, so, sorry Vicky, but
No,
the Real Prince hasn't had the prep that a lot of horses that previously has run in the July and won and then go on and take part in this race. He's had a very slight, and he had a pretty easy July, if you can say that. I mean, he had a nice position and waited for Richard to go, and he sprinted past him. That's basically what happened. So it was almost like a gallop. He didn't have a dirty race. He had an easy race. So, yeah, it was a nice prep run for him, basically. But then
Actually drops the grade 1 race everyone wants to win is the
exactly. And then you get Dave the King, who also obviously doesn't stay that far and had a bit of a skip and didn't have the gallops. And did he have the gallop? Stand to be corrected. So yeah, it's going to be a very good race. It's going to be a tricky one to pick. I'll leave it to Alistair to pick one. But yeah, I did the questioning for the racing folk here to ask who's going to get the crown, and some were in favour of Gladiatorian. So maybe that's the trifecta.
Yeah, Alistair,
Easy one.
help us.
So it's ironic, because the way that I generally read this, historically, the way that I read this race, is that runners coming out of the Hollywoodbets July tend to run flat. But the kicker that we have this year is that, as you and MJ rightly say, is that the Real Prince basically had a prep, kind of having his peak run here. I mean, it's crazy. Sure, is he a weight for age horse? He must be now, on the back of his Hollywoodbets Durban July win. But I keep coming back to Dave the King. He's a reigning horse of the year. He won this race last year. They did everything they could to compromise him winning the Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge last time. They took away his biggest weapon, which is free striding from the front. Oriental Charm went up, did that work for him, and he was still able to hold off all challenges. I think he'll be riper now, having his 3rd run after a break. But what lingers in the back of the mind is, had the race been over 1,800 metres, Gladiatorian sails past him. But has Gladiatorian sort of come to the end of the season? That's where I am with him. I think he's... What a horse. Stuart Ferry's done a brilliant job with the son of Vercingetorix. But if he did run flat, I wouldn't be blown away with that fact. See It Again, probably by complete default, having a good prep coming into this race. Or is it a good prep? Softer prep. Yeah. That's the word, not good prep. Softer prep.
No, because he was unfortunately scratched
Yeah.
at the Hollywoodbets Durban and didn't gallop either.
No, 100%. And then we got Fire Attack, who's already a weight for age grade 1 winner at Turfentine when beating Royal Victory. How is he going to go to Hollywoodbets Greyville? He was actually on my July radar, Fire Attack, until he was withdrawn. He should have won his last start. He just a little bit flat-footed going through the final 400, and Schwarzenegger got first run. A few more strides and he would have sailed past Schwarzenegger. Has he got the class to beat Dave the King and the Real Prince? Doubt it. Dave the King for me, hard horse to beat.
What type of run do you think Royal Victory's going to put up?
He always punches above his weight. What a horse. What a horse. He punches above his weight. I couldn't have him in this year's Hollywoodbets Durban July. Ran another terrific race.
From a wide
From a
draw.
wide draw. Stayed on very, very strongly. Striker gets on him for the first time. It would be an appropriate way for Striker to go out. Again, is he... I know he's won a weight for age grade 1 at Turfentine. Is he a weight for age horse at Hollywoodbets Greyville? Probably. I wouldn't put anyone off if you liked him, but I just prefer 1 or 2 more than him.
And you'll play for this race?
Winner number 4, Dave the King.
Yeah, bold choice once again. Race 9, Bet with the World, Gold Bracelet, over the 2,000 meters. It's a grade 2 event and a lovely race indeed. Alistair, please take us through the betting.
So number 7, Rainbow Lorikeet, 28-10 favourite. Aldo should be there by then. He's got it to take the ride and supported from 4-1. Number 11, Little Susie at 5-1. 3, My Soulmate, 7-1. 2, Knockout, 8-1. And 10-1 about number 9, VJ's Angel, who won a grade 1 on this day last year.
So Alistair, My Soulmate, a comment. I mean, she's been brilliantly consistent.
Yeah, she's come into her own. She was unlucky as well in the Toad Oaks at Hollywoodbets Greyville last time when running second behind She's a Bomber. The weight turnaround, the small field, did a lot of low flying late. Had the option of going for this race or the Gold Cup, but the mathematics of the Willavington really puts number 3, My Soulmate, into the picture, and also from the Oaks. If you go back to those runs, Little Susie, of course, won the Willavington. My Soulmate finished a length behind her. She comes in here 4.5 kilos better off. She should turn that form around. And again in the Oaks, where she finished a quarter of a length behind She's a Bomber, she comes in here, 6 kilos better off, and she finished in front of Knockouts in Indian Ocean. So that's one of the reasons why she ended up here. However, with that said, the Willavington, the unlucky horse, was undoubtedly Rainbow Lorikeet. Horses went across her when she was making a dangerous looking run. Candice won this race last year with Red Palace. She's won it a few times, this Gold Bracelet. Marina being another one that's won out of this yard, so she knows how to get her way around.
Rained up here, didn't it? It was quite a...
Was that not the year they moved from the Saturday to the Sunday, when they had inclement weather the whole week leading up? I mean,
There's a bit of weather around.
there's weather around. This meeting and weather do not go well together.
Rather not talk about it.
Yeah, it's happening on Sunday at the time of
We
recording.
have ice rain in the race.
That could be the biggest and worst omen all in one. I think Candice is going to run 1-2. Which Candice those are going to be, Bass Robinson or Dawson? That remains to be seen. 2 very, very good fillies. Rainbow Lorikeet, anything but disgraced in the Hollywoodbets Durban July. I mean, I couldn't see her running 6 lengths behind whoever won. She ended up running 3 lengths behind the third place. Well, I thought it was a very, very good run from a filly who's coming into her own. They're the two I'm going to focus on. I've got time for number 10 Mocha Blend because she's so progressive, but I think they're going to be targeting races as a 4-year-old, because that's, I think, when she's going to come into her heyday. And Little Susie, I know she won the Willavington. She had everything in her favour on that occasion. She's taken sort of low road through KZN and having missed a couple of races that they could have gone for. This was obviously the plan. Richard Free takes the ride. It's not going to be as easy for her, but she might have the tools. And then VJ's Angel, as mentioned, a grade 1 winner this time last year. She's the same horse. I do have my doubts. Like I said, Candice runs 1-2. Would order. I hope My Soulmate over Rainbow Lorikeet, but Rainbow Lorikeet's an excellent filly.
MJ, your take on this race? I mean, Alice has covered most of Little Susie.
Yeah.
For me, reminds me so much of her mother. The way that she moves, it's
Yeah,
quite a
she's
thing.
big and matured. Yeah, Vicky, I think at the weights, it obviously it just points at the top 2, number 3, My Soulmate and Rainbow Lorikeet, and I don't think we can go against that. Respect for number 10, Mocha Blend and Little Susie. Bar those are really at the weights I can't see going. We don't have to go past any more horses because I really think that either My Soulmate or Rainbow Lorikeet will win.
What is your plan this race?
I went for each one, Rainbow Lorikeet. I thought she's probably the one to beat.
Race 10, HKIR in December. Umgeni handicap. It's over the 1,000 meters, so a quick dash to round of what's more than likely going to be an interesting day. And I think some runners that are waiting to have their moment in the season that have maybe threatened. But Alistair, let's see what the market sees, and then we can take it from there.
And you're absolutely spot on with this is the moment. Is Vunga Vunga won this race a couple of years ago. 7 Outlaw King, miffed at this price, 3-1. I've completely missed the boat. 9 Future Variety, 9-2. 6 Rodeo Drive, 5-1. 11 King of the Gauls, 8-1. And 10-1 a pair of horses, 12-4. Lion Rampart and Unbeldi.
MJ, your take on some of the runners? I mean, I mentioned horses that have maybe waited for their moment, and Baldy could be one of those. Future Variety. We even have Lion Rampart, who I think people in the Western Cape are sort of just watching and paying attention to.
I think you've got to respect the money that's come for Outlaw King. He's got the form lines to run against a lot stronger. Huge respect for him. I think Symphony and White is a filly that you can't ignore. Run to My Sensation. Early in her career to Asia Pambila, brings her into the race with the bit of weight that she gets. Lion Rampart, I don't know, he was a big action horse. Greyville, he might be okay, draw 12 because he needs to use his action, and if he's drawn inside, he might get caught behind horses.
He's also a very reactive horse to his surroundings.
Correct, so sort of reservations. He's a very good horse. I mean, he can obviously also run to the best. You can't leave him out to play because I wouldn't say behavior. He's matured a lot. He's got a big action. It's just about whether he's going to take to the track or not. Byleveld at the bottom of the weights, good last run, probably also that's a bit of value. But yeah, and Future Variety won a nice race last time. He's also run to our top sprinters, so you can't exclude him. But Outlaw King for me stands out with a bit of value from Symphony in White.
Interesting. So for me, the discussion about syndicates is one that we always have. It often comes up. So you've got number 7 Outlaw King for the Dean Canamere Racing Syndicate, and you've got number 9 Future Variety.
Early syndicates, Outlaw King, wasn't it?
Yes, it is, and Dean sort of always kept it going. But I just think it's so interesting, and you get Future Variety, who's got a number of owners involved, and it's just so great that racing can be enjoyed by so many people, and especially when it gets to levels like this. It's unbelievable.
Parading will be full for 2 horses.
Oh, no, 4 horses. Although Unbaldi, I know that these 2 horses aren't Cape Racing or Race Coast affiliated syndicates.
Lormerons and Friends.
Lormerons and Friends, and Rodeo Drive with Jody Ambrose, and
Well, there you go.
you know how many people Jody brings to the races. It's obscene. I mean, there's not going to be space for anyone in the parading for the last one. I feel like the July again.
It's really brilliant, though.
Absolutely. MJ stole my thunder. I like Outlaw King too much. Purely on the weights and every time they've met in the De Grendel Cape Merchants and the In Full Flight, and also a few other races down the page. The Golden Horse Prince at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Future Variety cannot beat Outlaw King. I'll be surprised if he did. Although Future Variety is a grand old horse. Outlaw King's got his number all over the place. Caught the eye again in the Grade 2 Post Merchants. He's down in class. I'm expecting Canamere and Zaki to have a few winners. I think that they'll finish strongly with Outlaw King. If he has a danger for me, it's good old King of the Gauls. He's worth another go. And his run at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, he's a massive chance on his last run. Obviously, he's not. He won this race last year as well. So if there is a danger, then it's King of the Gauls. But
furlong, eh?
firmly in the camp of Outlaw King.
And you're playing?
Let's go each way. Outlaw King.
Where did the win? So quick.
I'm waiting for Mr. Bloomberg to get on the phone.
Well, and then you've also got all the syndicate people that might be hunting you down the parade ring. But it really is.
Like I
brilliant.
said, if Chronicle King wins, I'll be stood down. So I'll
You should be. Are you commentated? You might be upstairs. You'll be safe.
Alistair, what are you looking forward to for the day?
That's a very good question. Everything is the easy answer. I love the race day. I love Gold Cup Day. I always have. It's a great way to put a lid on the season. What am I most looking forward to? I'm nervous about. When I say nervous, good nerves about the Whirlpool Moment of the Day Champion Stakes with Chronicle King, knowing that there's obviously good competition. But it's amazing when you're under the radar and the pressure's off, that you kind of go in there enjoying them. And not even my horse. I just married to the trainer. That's all I have. But
Casually married.
But I mean, it's amazing how the emotions change when you're under the radar and sort of knowing that a nice run's expected, and all of a sudden you kind of in the limelight and almost expectations are up. So that's the race that I'm most looking forward to. But in a nutshell, the entire day is special.
MJ, you?
But 3 races, I think. Golden Palm, obviously. Love of Ellen to get that Group 1.
To finish the mission.
Correct. And just ticked another box. You go, Ellen. And then I love watching horses that are sort of cantering down. And Chronicle King, I love his action. Really enjoyed it when he cantered. I was like, that's one to follow. So can't wait to watch him. And then the cherry on the cake would be the Champions Cup. I think it's going to be a fantastic race to finish the season off.
It is, and I think we're all looking forward to that moment. So there it is, the 10 races from all, Alistair, MJ and myself. And what is going to be a spectacular day. I'm hoping that we get some horses that really just end on a high note. I think there's nothing better than when the end of the season comes to great build up. It's been a long thought process through a lot of things. There's always so much planning that goes through. And the fact that you can plan something, breeders would know this more so than anyone else, but even as a trainer, you plan things for like 4 or 5 months. And sometimes it just comes down to like a centimeter. Like that can define the difference between success. Like it's mind blowing. So looking forward to it.
It's a great game, isn't it?
It is great. It is great. So thank you very much for joining us. We can't wait to see you there, and it's going to be a good one. So don't forget to tune in.